in the morning with a light upon her skin. Coffee cup before the day begins. Don't go, stay a while. We'll slow it all the way back down. Time is still and there's nowhere to be. Birds are talking outside, getting space for the words we hold inside to come out. So stay a while, we'll slow it all the way back down. To this moment, watch the sunlight pouring, keep it like a picture frame. So stay a while and don't go, 'cause we got time to slow it all the way back down.
I don't know what I'm meant to feel anymore. I take it out on my girls and I smash that door. I fucked around with myself and I let you know that if you're up there watching, start the show. Say it's over, my friend. How long until the end? 'Cause I'm past the point where I can amend. I don't love myself, but I can pretend. Repeating cycles in my head, bringing me down. And I've been itching at the back of my head, the crown. The firemen are inside my head, it's one of the two. 'Cause this head is controlling me, and me is just you. Say it's over, my friend. How long until the end? 'Cause I'm past the point where I can amend. I don't love myself, but I can pretend. it's over, my friend. How long until the end? 'Cause I'm past the point where I can amend. I don't love myself, but I can pretend. I can pretend.
Place where we can go and be alone. So come away with me, nobody has to know where we gonna go. I was just calling to see if you're free. So come away with me. So come away with me. Don't tell your friends that you know we're safe, let alone. The rose calling, sun on our skin, sleeping under stars when it's cold. I was just calling to see if you're